I am Heidi Lindemann, therapist with Self-Grounded Therapy. I specialize in working with people who are spiritual and looking for support around suicidal thoughts, desires, or if you know of IFS, internal family systems, suicidal parts. So today I want to do a longer meditation than the previous one I did and also offer more space in this meditation around suicidal parts. So in setting this up for you all, first, I want you, before we set this all up, first I'm going to say, if you have seen any of my other videos or if you watch this one, if you would please subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would be great. If you enjoy the content, only subscribe if you actually like what you hear on this channel. So go ahead and you can hit the subscribe button right below. And I look forward to continuing talking and hearing all your comments. I love it when you make comments, so go ahead and leave comments. I do respond to them, and I am doing this video because of a comment that somebody left about my last video on suicidal parts meditation, and they requested a longer version with much more space. So that's what I'm here to do for you today. So first, to set up your space, I would invite you to think about in your house, or maybe go into your house to the place where you want to spend some time sitting today, and having that space be a safe space. So if you happen to have any suicidal thoughts that have particular ways in which you think about killing yourself, if you have those objects in your house, I'm going to suggest that you move those objects somewhere that you don't have access to them while you're meditating. So if, yes, just to like keep them, that's creating an external safety space for yourself. We're going to be working with some internal boundaries today as well. So set up your space, that's important. And I also want to say, if you are having really intense suicidal thoughts that are overwhelming you and you're thinking about it a lot and getting to the place where you're really like, I think I'm going to just do it. I'm going to act on these thoughts. I have to, like feeling like it's inevitable. There's no other choice that you have and you're going to do that pretty soon. I would highly suggest, instead of listening to this meditation right now, first call the Colorado Crisis Line or the National Suicide Prevention Line if you are not in Colorado, or whatever suicide prevention lines you have if you live in a different country other than the United States of America. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the Colorado Crisis Line. I live in Colorado, so I know that line the best, and I used to work there as well. So just wanted to provide that for you. So the Colorado Crisis Line is 1-844-493-8255. Again, that is 1-844-493-8255. It's important that you have someone to talk to, and sometimes we're overwhelmed with suicidal thoughts and we need support and help. So if you need that right now, go ahead and do that. And if you find yourself at another time feeling more grounded or not quite as overwhelmed with the suicidal thoughts, but they're still there, come back and listen to the video, listen to the meditation, and engage with it then. So I really do want this to be a safe space for you all. During this meditation, if you get to a place where this feels too much, shift what you're doing. You can stop in the middle, and that's okay. So just wanting to lay that groundwork first, that ground foundation first. All right. So here I'm going to start the meditation and do it with the intention of having a lot of space and time for you to listen inward. I know that my pacing is not going to fit for everyone, and I'm going to do my best to make it supportive for as many people as I can. So to start, find that comfortable place that you're going to be in, whether that's sitting up or laying down. And I want you to start by just getting comfortable in your seat, in your chair. Shifting around, moving your body however it needs to move. maybe placing both feet on the floor if you're sitting up. Grounding yourself right now in this moment. You're choosing to spend this time with yourself, noticing what happens inside. And as you enter in to the meditation and inside to yourself, you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable. You can keep them open, or you can find a downward gaze onto something specific. Not really looking at it, but just something to hold your attention. Or closing your eyes completely. And then just start with breathing and noticing your breath however it is. This beginning space of breathing is to call you to this moment, to help bring you to the present and to start to notice everything that's happening inside your body. So I want you to just take some time, starting at your head, moving all the way down your body until you get to your feet, just scanning your body and noticing places of tension, places that are relaxed, noticing thoughts, noticing feelings, just gently scanning for a couple of minutes through your body, just noticing. So all you have to do is notice, maybe name it, whatever you feel or are thinking, or the tension or the looseness throughout your whole body, from your head all the way down to your toes. The body scan is a way to just say hello to what's present with you right now. As you finish that up, I'm going to invite you to shift your attention to the suicidal parts of you and to see if you can choose one. Maybe this is a suicidal thought, or maybe it's a suicidal desire. So I want you to start by noticing how the suicidal thoughts or desires are showing up for you right now. Notice in or around your body where it is, what color is it, what emotions are there, what thoughts are there. Just getting to know and to focus on the suicidal thought or the suicidal part in particular. And just spend some time noticing the thoughts, the colors, images, where in or around your body it lives. Now that you're noticing a little bit more about that suicidal part of you, where it is and how it's showing up, if you can see an image or you can feel the sensations of it, I want you to notice and ask yourself, how do you feel towards that part? And if you're feeling things like fear or like you want it to go away or you hate it, things in that kind of realm, or you're really scared or sad about it, anything like that, if you're feeling something in that, know that that's another part of you. I want you to ask if those parts can give you some space or if they have any concerns. If they have concerns, they're saying, don't do this, it's not okay. I want you to listen to that. Because I'm not right there with you. I can't respond directly to what their concerns are. So if you can meet their concerns and can continue, that's great. If they're saying this isn't safe, then it might not be safe and you might need to do this with the support of somebody else. But if they can also step back and give you some space, knowing that we are getting to know the suicidal part. This is not to make the suicidal part overwhelm you or to make the suicidal part have more strength. This is actually so that you have more knowledge and more awareness of the suicidal part so that you can help create boundaries inside to create more safety inside. So if that can help any of your parts that are feeling scared or worried, knowing that that's what this is for. See if they can give you some space. You can try taking a couple of deep breaths to create more space inside so that you can be with the suicidal part. As your parts are stepping back and more space is being created for you to be with the suicidal part, I want you to check in again and see, how do you feel towards that suicidal part? To just see if you can find any curiosity, sense of calmness, sense of confidence being with the suicidal part. And if you're not finding confidence or you're not finding curiosity, openness towards the suicidal part, ask the other parts to give you some more space. Whatever parts are there, whatever feeling you're having towards the suicidal part, if it's not curiosity or calmness or really connected or very present with the suicidal part, ask other parts to give you some more space. So now I want you to extend the curiosity, if you're feeling curious or openness towards the suicidal part, and I want you to see how it responds to you. How does it respond to that being sent curiosity? And staying connected and present with your suicidal part, however it's showing up for you. I want you to ask it if it can share with you, what is it trying to do for you when it's sharing or giving you the suicidal thoughts or suicidal desires or urges? What is it trying to do for you? What does it hope will happen with you thinking about suicide or acting on the suicidal thoughts? What does it hope will happen? And just listening to your suicidal part and what it's telling you. It's telling you something like it hopes you die, or I want out, or something that feels scary or negative, or like ends everything. If it's telling you that, I want you to see if you can have it tell you more clearly what it's hoping will happen if you do die. Like, what is it really looking for in death? Is it looking for freedom or release, or does it want out of the pressure? See if it can tell you that. Just continuing to ask and be with it and listening to it. And whatever the suicidal part is telling you, I want you to tell it back to the suicidal part. Repeat it back and ask her, am I really getting it? Is that what you're trying to do for me? Is that what you do when you bring up suicidal thoughts? Are you trying to help me get out of this pain? Or are you really working to try to have relief? Or do you want freedom? Or do you want an easy flowing life? Ask it, like repeat back what it's saying, what you're hearing that it's saying, what it's telling you, and check in and ask it, am I getting it? Is that right? Or what more is there? What more are you wanting for me? And as you're with your suicidal part, listening, hearing more, you can go wherever your curiosity, your genuine curiosity is leading you with your suicidal part, or you can keep listening to my voice where my curiosities go. So I'm curious and wondering if your suicidal part can tell you if there's one particular way that it thinks about how you might die, what method you would use to kill yourself. If it can bring that up and tell you what about that specific method is it trying to tell you? Like, why that? What is it trying to get for you with that particular method? What is it trying to tell you? What does it want? See if you can listen to a message. As you're listening to the suicidal part tell you what it's trying to do with a particular method, what it wants, I want you to see if you can really distill that into a specific message, one kind of thing that it's trying to do. It's like if it's saying take a bunch of pills, is it actually asking or wanting an easy release where it doesn't have to feel anymore? Or if it's saying use a knife on a specific part of your body, Is it actually really wanting or feeling like there's something toxic inside you that needs to come out, that needs to bleed out? Listening for those kinds of messages, getting really curious about, oh, well, why this one? Why this one and this one and this one and not that one? You can ask that with every single method that you think about and see if you can hear what the message is, like why that particular method. What is it hoping would happen if you killed yourself in that particular way? Just opening yourself up to hear what those messages are. Maybe jotting them down if you have paper close by. I'm going to give you some time to really listen and to hear the messages. And as you're hearing more from your suicidal part about messages, about what it's trying to do for you, what it hopes would happen with each particular method of how it tells you to kill yourself. As you're listening and hearing that, I want you to reflect it back to the part. Say, here's what I'm hearing you say. Are you looking for relief from me? Are you looking for freedom? Are you looking for an easy way out? Are you looking for a way to stop the pressure? Just repeat it back. Send it back to the part and see and ask, am I getting it? Is that right? Is that what you're doing for me? And see how it responds to you. And listening to the part, how it responds. And if it's not quite right, just ask it, what else is there? What else do you need me to know? What else am I not getting? Help clarify for me what you're doing and how you're working for me. What is your job? How are you doing this? And as you're listening more to that suicidal part and what it does for you, what it wants for you, what it's really trying to have happen by giving you suicidal thoughts, and the particular messages that it's giving you, I want you to see if you can bring some creativity to this part, to those messages, maybe with the part. I don't know if it's going to come from you or if it comes from the part or comes from both of you. But I want you to see if you can pick a particular message. If it's saying, okay, when I tell you to take pills, what I'm really looking for is a way to stop everything, to stop feeling. I want you to see if there's some creative solution to help ease the pain or to help have what is the suicidal part wants, the freedom from pain. If there's another way that you guys can think of together to meet that need. So is it really that you're maybe really tired if it's when it's telling you to take when it's telling you to take pills, and what you're really needing is an actual physical nap or some kind of rest? That is what it was for me. But so just get curious and see if you can bring some creativity to find what other creative solutions might there be to meet the same need that the suicidal part is trying to have met, which is wanting you out of this pain. But what other potential ways could that be eased in moments when those particular suicidal thoughts come up? Just see if you can bring creativity and play with that for a little bit, and then give you some time to do that. And continuing to bring your creativity with the suicidal part around messages, the messages it told you, the things that it's trying to have happen for you, that it ultimately wants for you. What ways can you start to meet those needs that you have? So you're really looking for the needs that you have and what actions you can take to do them. Getting creative together. There might be another solution without having to die, to meet the needs, to meet the freedom, to meet the release from the pressure or whatever it is, to get the toxicity out. Maybe you need to go for a swim or run or shake your body. Maybe there are other ways to work with whatever it is that the suicidal part is saying needs to end. And if the suicidal part and yourself are coming up with any ways that you might be able to meet these needs that keeps you alive, I want you to jot those down. Jot them down next to the messages so that you can remember that these are the things that your suicidal part and you came up with to try when those suicidal thoughts come in. And connecting with that suicidal part, I want you to thank it for everything that it shared with you today, for letting you know what it's doing for you, what it really wants, why it's working so hard to try to keep you safe and protect you, what it's hoping would happen. And letting it know that you now have some ideas, some ways that you can work to meet the needs that it really has. And then I want you to ask it if it would be willing and can keep its energy a little bit closer to itself, not overwhelm you, not flood your system, not take over. And instead, if it can show you a sign, that could be a feeling, it could be a particular thought, it could be a sensation, something that's a cue, a clue, like, hey, suicidal part saying, I need some attention again. I need you to pay attention here. If you guys can actually work together, but if it can do it in a, not an overwhelming way, but in a like little cue, and then that means that you actually have to pay attention to that. So if it gives you that cue, like literally I want you to ask it to give it to you right now. How is it willing to speak to you? How will you know that it's the suicidal part that you met with today that's saying, hey, I need your attention? Feel it or hear it or sense it in your body right now. And I want you to ask the suicidal part, when it sends that feeling, that thought, that sensation to you that you just felt or heard, what is it that it needs from you? Does it need a quick, oh, hi, suicidal part, I hear you, I feel you? Does it need you to take a few deep breaths? Does it need you to look at the list and do one of the things on the list? What does it need? And what is, just, I want you to ask it, what does it need from you in that moment when it sends you that little signal? And with whatever it's telling you, I want you to see if that actually feels possible for you. So if it's saying it just needs a quick check-in, it needs a hand on your chest or a little hug or some kind of acknowledgement, I want you to see if you can actually do that most of the time. We're never perfect, but if you can actually commit to doing that when you feel that sensation or that thought. If it's telling you something really big that it needs like a lot of time, I want you to keep working with it to see if there's ways to do both of those things. So is there a way to have, like in the day when you're at work or school or whatever you're doing and you don't have a whole lot of time, is there a way to have a small thing? Like, can you just acknowledge it? Can you lay your hand on your chest and write a quick note and then come back to it later that day or in your own therapy to work with it more so that it can get the time that it needs, because it needs to be heard from you. So just seeing if you can work together to create those boundaries of what that's going to look like so that it works for both of you. And however it's showing up now, I want you to thank it for sharing everything it did, for its willingness to talk to you, for its willingness to work with you moving forward, whether that's in small ways throughout the day or if that's it saying it needs more time. I want you to thank it for sharing what it did. Send a drop of gratitude or more if you can to this part of you that really is working hard to keep you safe. It's working hard to protect you. And my guess is a big release from a lot of the pain that's in life. And I want you to send some gratitude to your other parts too that stepped back, that allowed you to spend some time and get to know the suicidal part of yourself a little bit more. Thanking them and inviting them all to come back and surround you, come back into your system, into your body, wherever they live. And just sitting in that gratitude for a moment for all that you've learned and all the work that all of your parts do day in and day out for you. And just taking a few deep breaths. And gently coming out of your internal world into your external world. You can start noticing your body on the chair. You can open your eyes if they're closed, gently letting your gaze fall wherever it feels like it needs to. Just calling yourself back into your own room, to your own space, to the external world, knowing that you have a deeper knowing and wisdom that you have just learned and gained from that suicidal part of you, that very important part. And just fully coming out, moving your body as you need to. I hope this was helpful for you, that you were able to connect to your suicidal part and learn something new about it. Maybe you met it for the first time. You can listen to this or other meditations that I have as many times as you need to. And if you do live in Colorado and you would like some more specific support to you and to your own suicidal part, I do have availability. You are more than welcome to go to my website, www.selfgroundedtherapy.org, which I'll post in the info below. And you can schedule a free consultation with me, and we can really talk to each other and get to know if we actually are a good fit for working together, if I can support you in what your goals are around your suicidal parts. So if you resonated with this video at all, or it sounds like, or you feel like you need a little bit of extra help, or you want more help so that you can dive more deeply into your suicidal parts and find the wisdom that they hold, give me a call. Set up a consultation. It's free. It's 20 minutes and we can connect. If you do not live in Colorado, this is internal family systems. I suggest finding a therapist if you are feeling like you really need one who lives in your state. And subscribe. Feel free to watch the video as many times as you would like. Leave some comments below. I do reply to them. And thank you for watching. And I hope you learned a little bit of wisdom today.